Hello there, and welcome to episode 21 of the Holocron-Cast. As always, I am joined by the Sith Holocron, Dan. How you doing today, Dan?
Welcome to the angriest episode ever.
Yes.
If you guys, just immediate fair warning, if you guys are maybe a little bored of our Rise of Skywalker rants,
Nothing's changing today.
that's going to be probably a good 80 to 90% of this podcast.
Right? Fuck the Clone Wars episode 3. It was great, but we ain't got time to talk about that.
There's not that much to talk about anyway.
Yeah.
It was more action-y.
Yeah. And of course, it's me as always, the Jedi Holocron Tyler.
The novelization came out, though, and we haven't talked about it.
It
so
hasn't came out yet.
Well, but like
a lot of excerpts from it have been coming
we didn't
out.
talk about any of it.
Yes, not at all.
I don't think we did, at least.
We might have mentioned one or two briefly, but none of the big ones.
Yeah, none of the big ones. So that'll mostly be what this episode's about. Try to drink away from the microphone.
It's okay, Dan. This episode's wild. We're getting loose. We're getting wild. I'm going to try not to dive even deeper into my depressed state that Star Wars has brought me in this week.
You're going to try not to get too red in the face?
Right.
Well, how about you start us off then with whatever topic you want to tackle first.
God, I don't even know anymore. What should we talk about first?
You're the one who has a billion rants to go on, so...
No, I need to understand, Dan. What is happening? Why are they making the Rise of Skywalker worse through a book? It can't get much worse, but yet they're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about first the one that makes sense, but also I feel like should have been explained in the movie, and also kind of Palpatine's a clone.
Yeah.
Palpatine's a clone. How does that make you feel?
I don't like it. Personally. And the main reason why I don't like it is because I've already come to terms with the fact that he just survived the Death Star.
Right.
After seeing the movie. So I had already come to terms with that, and now it's flipped.
Yeah, it's...
Like, there's no hint at all. There's no, like, they don't... All they said was, the Plagueis thing, which just made me assume he just survived.
Right. It's, from what I understand...
I think it is just extremely obvious that this is potentially the most flying by the seat of their pants they've ever done.
Right.
This whole book.
No, this whole movie.
But the book, too, is, like, even more so, I'd say.
I feel like they're trying to fix the movie.
But doing it so poorly, they're just going to anger even the people who actually liked the movie.
Right.
In trying to fix it and make everyone like it, they're just Xing out more groups of people.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just commit to something.
There's also, I know for a fact nobody wants to like this movie more than I want to like this movie. But I just can't. I just can't anymore.
The thing is... The other thing that's really weird about it, I know in the book they say it's his spirit is inhabiting the clone, and that's why it's all, like, decayed and shit.
Yeah, and he can't, from what I understand, his essence, his spirit is inheriting the clone, but it's too much
for the clone body to handle.
That's why he's breaking apart and wants to inhabit Rey or Kylo. But this inevitably leads me into the confusion of one of the other topics we're going to talk about with the clone stuff. But
also, this is, what, 40, 50 years after Attack of the Clones? And they don't have any improvement to the cloning technology?
Right, that's a fair point, too. I never thought about that, honestly.
That is, but I guess also that
he made Snoke, but obviously he was falling apart.
Snoke was falling apart, for sure. But it just seems weird. I think what it is they're taking from, I know in Legends...
It's that book. They're trying to do that book that you always
They're trying to do Dark Empire, but in Dark Empire, the Palpatine clone is young.
Yeah.
He's, in his prime. Younger than we've ever seen him.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're pulling... it's the plot of Force Unleashed 2 is what they're pulling from with this, where they try to clone Starkiller. And the clones are, falling apart because they're too strong with the Force.
Right.
So I guess they're pulling it from Legends that, you can't really clone a Force user that well?
It's not even like they're cloning him, so they're just trying to put his power into a clone.
Yeah, they're just making an empty body
and
just having him possess it.
Which is, why he's falling apart. But But apparently the line in the movie, too, that's supposed to describe this is when the character in the movie, who's JJ's friend, who no one knows or no one cares about, says something about...
Cloning.
Yeah, dark magic, cloning.
Yeah.
And we're like, no one took that as anything. Like, I honestly forgot that line even was said.
I remember that, but I just assumed it was just like...
Him conspiracy theorying it up.
Yeah. It's just them saying, like, oh, no one knows, and the guy's just tossing out theories.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take that as concrete.
Especially when it's the guy who's only in the movie because he's JJ's friend, right?
Yeah.
You take it, like, if it was, like, someone, like, we knew saying it, we might have took it a little more...
Oh, yeah, a little more...
Not just some random guy in the Empire who's only in the movie because he's friends with the director.
In the Resistance.
Yeah.
A little weird. I don't like him being a clone because I know,
Like, it's not awful.
It's not awful.
Also, like, explain it in the fucking film.
Or like, yeah, at least hint at it in the film, more than just some random fucking guy saying, oh, cloning.
Right.
Have Palpatine or one of his boys, like, hint at it.
Yeah, like, the Sith, apparently, like, the Sith cultists were the ones doing this.
Yes. Well, who else?
I feel like...
Who else would construct a dead body for Palpatine to inhabit?
Honestly, though, I feel like Palpatine himself would have had a better plan than this. You know what I mean?
That's what makes me so certain it's the Sith cultists, though.
No, but I mean, like, I feel like his backup plan would have been more...
Logical? Yeah. To be fair, I guess it's more of that they're taking from Episode 6 Palpatine, where he is kind of dumb.
I guess.
He's not very bright in Return of the Jedi, and I never liked that. Because, I mean, he only has, he tells them where the fucking shield generator is. Mm-hmm. And then he stays on the Death Star when the shield generator goes down. So, I mean, he's not very bright in Return of the Jedi either. But I feel like this is even dumber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like you can there's so many more interesting ways to do this, too. Like, I don't know if you talked about this or whoever talked about this, but, like, him being a wraith trapped on, like, the remains...
Yeah, I was saying that.
The remains on...
Endor.
But, like, then he, like, finds a guy, manipulates him, and then inevitably maybe inherits his body.
Yeah.
Or not even that, just, like, he... Like...
He's just the voice in Snoke's head.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted it to be. I wanted him to be dead. I wanted him to be a Force Wraith. Mm-hmm. Because that's already established canon. Right. Darth Bane is a Force Wraith on whatever that planet is that Yoda went to in Season 6 of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So we already have Force Wraiths, and that is so Palpatine to just be hiding in the background, whispering into people's ear. And you still have, he still died from Vader then, so it, people can't use the argument, even though I don't really agree with the argument that it ruins Vader's sacrifice.
Well, no, especially considering that he's a clone now.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, that's what they're trying to fix, mostly.
But honestly, I don't think that was a problem to begin with, because Vader's...
It wasn't a big problem.
Vader's whole thing was to save his son.
Yeah, not to
end Palpatine.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different argument. But it just... I don't know. I think Force Wraith would have been the best option. Mm-hmm. Have Snoke be under his influence. Or, have Snoke be his apprentice, even, that he's just influencing. And then I think a big problem is that they went into 7 and said, no, there's no Sith.
The problem is they went into 7 like, this isn't, like, yeah. It's like, in 7 they're like, we're not going to, like, stick to, like, some of the old stuff, but, like, this is inherently tied to the Skywalker saga, even though we're trying to go away from it. Like, they're trying to have their cake and eat it, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, they don't want it to be too connected to the Skywalker saga, but, like, you connected it enough where people have certain expectations of these movies.
Because also, I feel like that makes Snoke, like, kind of make less sense that he's not, like, a Sith.
Snoke doesn't make any sense anymore.
Yeah, Snoke doesn't really make much sense to begin with, but, like...
Well, it'd make more sense if he was... If instead of Palpatine, like, I made Snoke. You didn't make shit, you made yourself. Like...
Yeah, I made myself.
Like... It'd be more make sense if, like, he made Snoke and not, like, if he was Snoke, and then that fell apart, and then he had his essence went back to something else.
Yeah.
And then, like, they didn't have another body prepared or whatever. Even with the story they're trying to tell, this shows, like, the really bad option for it.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, like, because you know what else would have been... What else would have helped things make way more sense? If, say, in 7, if you say Snoke is a Sith, then guess what? Everyone assumes Palpatine's back.
Right.
Because if you say there's still Sith around, who do you imagine is pulling the strings? But instead we have no hints. There's no logic.
Right. So, we talked about this before. I know you were more on the positive side of Palpatine coming back. How do you feel now?
I still like him coming back. I still like seeing Ian McDiarmid. I still
not in how they did.
Let me explain. I still like seeing Ian McDiarmid play him again. I still like it because because they're so dead set on it being part of the Skywalker saga. Mm-hmm. I do still like him being there. It's just they chose the worst and dumbest options.
Literally.
Force Wraith. Perfect. Survived. This weird clone died, possessed clone made Snoke. Like,
yeah, it's awful.
It's a weird conundrum where it got really where it's really convoluted.
Wouldn't you rather them had not brought him back than what they did with him here?
To a degree, yes, but I also just really wanted to see Ian play him one more time.
And we're not even counting to the fact the next part of this.
Yeah,
which makes this even more fucked up.
That's actually what angers me a lot more. Is the next one.
Let's just get into it because it's all tied in one. It'll be one big banger of a...
Yeah. See, we're talking about the ones that anger me the most first because of the Palpatine ones.
Dan, I'm so sad. God, oh. Do
you want me to say it if you're too heartbroken?
So... This doesn't actually... I just don't understand. You guys ready for this? Palpatine's son? I don't really know what to call it now.
Palpatine's
Rey's
dad
is a failed Palpatine clone.
Who doesn't resemble Palpatine at all.
And who apparently doesn't have the Force.
Who doesn't have the Force.
So
I have a rant to go on here, actually.
I'm trying to understand, though. I'm excited to hear your rant, but, like... Rey's a Palpatine.
In name only.
In name...
She's not even fucking related to him. Technically.
I don't...
Because her father does not resemble Palpatine in the slightest, so he has to be a clone that's so fucked that he couldn't even be classified.
But, like, if this is their way to explain Rey, like, his powers... Like, they're trying...
That's part of my rant.
My brain's broken. Like, how... Her Force powers make even less sense now.
Yeah, let me explain my point of view on this. Okay. This is easily, I think, the most fucked thing they've did.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Overall. Making Rey's dad a failed clone of Palpatine who is not Force sensitive. What you have done is now, you've literally pissed off everyone.
Because people who didn't like Rey because her powers weren't explained, and the people who liked Rey being nobody.
Star Wars fans are divided into two groups. The people who don't like Rey because her power was never explained well, and the people who like Rey because they wanted her to be her own character.
Yeah. Also, wait, there's three groups. The third group is people who don't like Rey, but she's a woman, but those are going to be bad no matter what. So.
Yeah. So You've tried to placate both of them, but in the process, you've pissed both groups off. Now no one can be happy, because she's not a no one and her power's not explained. You ruined it for everyone!
Right?
They're like, oh, well, we pissed off one group, let's just piss off the other one, too. For fuck's sake!
Oh my god. So,
that makes me extremely angry.
Oh, man.
That is the most backtracking thing that they could have done.
Right?
The most backtracking bullshit.
See, like, you had to just commit to pissing one of the groups off.
Or
make them both happy she's a Force child.
Yeah, but they're too fucking stupid.
So, her Poppy.
Yes. Is a no one, but a Palpatine.
With no powers. But she has Palpatine's power?
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Unless her mom was Force sensitive? I don't know.
But that eliminates the point of saying that she has his power.
Right? It's just from what we understand, that's very last minute stuff, too. They just had no clue what they were doing with this movie.
That is...
I've never... So, how do...
I just don't understand.
I'm such a loss for words, man. Like,
that's the thing that pisses me off the most. The rest of it is annoying, but, like...
Yeah. These two are the worst.
This one in particular about her dad is, I
Yeah.
think, the fucking worst decision they could have made. Period. Because who does this make happy? It doesn't make anyone happy.
It doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, even that as well. It makes no fucking sense. It's not implied. It's not explained. It's not addressed. They just say Palpatine's son, which already on its own is kind of like a, what?
Right?
That's a fucking bomb to drop.
Palpatine didn't fuck anyone.
Yeah.
Because, as we learned also, you can't fuck or have romantic things in Star Wars unless you're rapey Anakin.
Yes.
Because, let's think about it. So, Palpatine didn't have sex. Bummer.
Well, he might have had sex, he just didn't have a child.
Yes. So...
Is it supposed to be that her father was supposed to be who he was going to possess? But that doesn't make any sense either, because he has, like, a personality. He's not just an empty husk. Was he, like, Plan A and they couldn't copy Palpatine's power?
Or maybe when he tried to inherit his body, it didn't go the way he wanted? I don't
Oh, maybe they wanted him to be the one to sit on the throne, and then Palpatine would possess that body?
Maybe, but also, how is that a failed clone, then? I don't...
Because he doesn't have the Force, because he's not real.
I guess.
Because the Force is in all living things, but I'm going to assume...
Not a living thing.
Yeah, I'm going to assume maybe clones are, like, classified as... Well, no, because Yoda says the clones have the Force.
So watch them end up doing this, though. So we have to assume now at this point, the only thing that makes sense is Rey's power comes from her mom, right?
Yes.
But we don't know anything about her mom.
Yes.
Other than...
She literally doesn't even have a name.
Other than we know the fact that she left her child to keep her safe, which is never a good way to explain leaving your child behind to keep them safe. That's just weird.
Yeah.
So...
Especially with Unkar Plut.
Right. So let's assume...
Let's say her mom is, like, uber powerful.
Honestly, do you know what I think they might do? Her mom will come from some lineage we learn about in the High Republic. Some great lineage that... I can see that.
Some new lineage that we've never heard of before, but it's just been in the background.
Yeah. But they're like, in the meantime, she's a Palpatine. But, oh wait, she's not actually a Palpatine. She's a nobody Palpatine?
She's a nobody Skywalker Palpatine.
Hello, I'm Rey Nobody Skywalker Palpatine. What's your name? That's what she should say when they ask people, what's your family name? Because apparently every fucking planet they go to, what's your family name? Hi, I'm Rey Nobody Palpatine.
I want to see someone ask Finn that question.
Right?
What do you think Finn would say? Finn Dameron?
I hope so.
You're goddamn right, I hope so. But no, they wouldn't allow that.
Right?
He'd say Finn Storm.
Finn Storm Pilot.
Just Finn Storm. It is kind of...
So should they remake The Rise of Skywalker, Dan?
I'm not a fan of remaking.
No, I don't like that either. But...
Because, it in that sense, it just feels more of like a spit in the face to, like, the people involved who didn't write it. You know?
People have said after The Last Jedi that Star Wars is dead. Is Star Wars dying, Dan? Are you worried about that now at any point? If they don't right the wrong? Or you have enough confidence because, like, The Mandalorian and stuff like that?
I have enough confidence because they're finally getting the fuck away from the Skywalker saga.
Yeah. Though the first movie in 2022, away from it, will be the tell-all.
That'll be the tell-all, but also, I think they're going to be fine. I mean, A, it's fucking Disney. Mm-hmm. They have unlimited money.
Yes.
2, they're getting away from the Skywalker saga. The problem is they're pussyfooting with the Skywalker saga. Mm-hmm. They're too afraid to do anything different.
And because the one time they did something different and innovative, it pissed off half the fan base.
Because it's part of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
So once they're moved away from that, I have a little bit of hope because from what I understand, the Project Luminous meeting, they said they were told to be more like, what's the word?
Risk-taking?
Yeah, like take more risks.
Be more... It doesn't have to... Especially because they're going back in time, too.
Yeah. So, like, that gives me confidence for now. And also, yes, Mandalorian, anything Dave Filoni touches...
Yeah.
Will do perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they... I don't know, man. We needed... I'm seriously at a loss for words with all this. Like, I don't know what to say anymore. Like, I can't believe they fucked it up this massively. You know what I mean?
It's kind of impressive to an extent.
We definitely got to read this book.
Yeah.
And do a review of it, because...
See what other bullshit is in there.
Right, because...
See what other backtracking...
These things wouldn't be... These things aren't good, but they also wouldn't be as bad if they just did it in the fucking movie.
Or even just hint at it. Or
instead of, like, having to explain everything through a book. Like, there's little cool tidbits throughout the book that they've...
Yeah.
There's cool things, like, about... One I read, like, 5 minutes ago, I don't know how true it is, but Rey's lightsaber apparently wasn't finished, which is cool, because it might be her staff double-bladed, like, yellow lightsaber, which would be sick.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Right?
So, there is good stuff. It's just, the problem is just that they don't even hint at any of this shit in the movie.
Or any of the 3 movies.
Yeah.
Of Palpatine...
Everything would have been fine. The Palpatine return would have made perfect sense if they would have just said Snoke was a Sith.
Right. Why can't...
Because then at least we would have had a hint.
Right. And everybody blames Rian Johnson. He's the only one that made a competent movie out of any of these. Oh, Force Awakens was fine, but...
I was going to say, what the fuck? Force Awakens is one that you really like.
But also, like... Everything's JJ's fault. Actually, I don't want to blame all JJ. It's probably a lot of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, it's not all JJ.
Like,
it's big part JJ.
You want to go away from this stuff, but also then fans aren't liking it, so you just go back to it at the end. Like...
And piss off everyone.
Like in the first movie, yeah, you're trying to go away from it, but kind of have some nostalgia. I get it. Bring Star Wars back. You have to do what you got to do.
Yes.
But then to just commit to a vision.
They're so... the sequels are so split. They're 3 extremely different.
Right.
They don't feel like a trilogy.
They really don't.
At all. They're the most disconnected, I think, of any of the movies. Despite being the closest chronologically to each other.
Right.
Like, there's fucking 10 years between episode 1 and 2. And those still feel like a trilogy.
It's not 10 years. It's like 5.
Anakin goes from, like, 9 to, like, 16.
Oh, yeah, in time. No, I thought you meant release date.
No, yeah, fucking... Like,
in
lore time.
Lore time.
That's what I mean. In lore, I mean...
They're literally like a year. All 3 movies take place in a year.
Yeah. Whereas the other ones are like... The original trilogy's over like 4 or 5 years. Or I think 3 years, actually. 3 or 4 years. And then the fucking prequels are over the course of like fucking 15 years or some shit. Since Anakin's a little kid.
Yeah.
And then he's like fucking 23 or something in Revenge of the Sith, I think I saw. They just feel so there's no connection between them.
Except the people in them, really.
This goes back to, I think, the root cause of the sequels in general. Why are they part of the Skywalker saga to begin with?
Right, why can't they just...
If you would have just said, oh no, the Skywalker saga is 1 through 6. The Skywalker saga is Anakin's journey.
Yeah.
This is just what follows.
Right, this is...
Bam. You don't have to do any of this bullshit.
And you can still have these characters and do their interesting...
Yeah, they can still be it's not like they're going to be completely cut out. It's just, you're not so pressured to have all this stuff that, like... You know? You can take more risks. You can be more different if it's not completely cordoned off into this saga.
Right.
Fuck, then if you said it wasn't, you know... Even further, if they would have said it's not part of the Skywalker saga, you could have done a 4th fucking movie.
Yeah! Because they're so
to explain this bullshit!
Which I'm glad now they're kind of learning those. So like, we're not committing to trilogies anymore. We'll see how many movies we need to tell a story.
Because that's the thing, is that everything in this novel could at least have been explained well if we would have just had 2 movies.
Yeah.
But also, they didn't have it planned to begin with, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I really wish we lived in a world where we could see Colin Trevorrow's Duel of the Fates. Honestly, I feel that this one has to be better. Because at least it's continuing the 3 movies we watched and not trying to force shit.
My only worry is that I feel like Disney would still have gotten involved really bad.
Well, obviously they did because they fired him.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like there's no world where we would have seen, like, his, like, original version. There's no world we would have seen that.
It's really interesting, though, because I feel like Disney really liked Rian Johnson's movie.
I mean, they really liked him.
Because, like, it's hard not to like Rian Johnson, honestly. He's the best. But, like, he's the only one who didn't have problems on set. He didn't have production issues. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no problems with this movie. They like
other than the fans.
Other than, like, the fans not liking it. Because, they hurt my hero, Luke Skywalker. I'm sorry Luke Skywalker's your hero and he wasn't perfect, but it's okay. Most heroes aren't perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The biggest problem is that like, I like that they used all these old characters because I like seeing them again, but the fans just have such an expectation for them to be exactly like their Legends counterparts.
Right.
For Luke to just be like a fucking
god.
deity.
Yeah. He is...
And in my opinion,
honestly, Luke's the most overrated character in Star Wars easily.
No, that's Boba.
Yes, but, like, I think Last Jedi made Luke such a better character.
That's why I think he's not the most overrated character,
right?
Because of Last Jedi.
Right.
Also, I really do like him in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, he's fine.
But also, like,
I'm not saying he's a bad character.
We've had this discussion before.
I get it. He was people's hero growing up.
But also, I feel like we've had this discussion before. But if you watch Return of the Jedi, like, nowadays, you understand how he gets to where he is in Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Provided Palpatine's not around, but they ruined that now. Does the book say if Luke knew
about the
Palpatine? Because we had a whole big rant about that.
I don't know.
That was episode, I think, 16 of the Holocron-Cast, if you want to check that out. Because basically, we went on the argument of that actually starts to ruin Luke's character if he knew Palpatine was still fucking around.
And he went in hiding. But was Palpatine actually around? I don't even know anymore. Because the whole
was Palpatine even actually around? Yeah. Well, he has to have been because he made Snoke.
Yeah.
So he has to have been around. Maybe he was a Wraith before this, and then they ruined it by making him a clone.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. You know, I would say the problem with the whole Wraith thing would have been like, they wouldn't really have much of a final battle there, but they didn't have much of a final battle to begin with, so...
Right.
There's no purpose in him actually being there, in the flesh.
Palpatine does not serve the story they were telling.
Yeah.
That's just the facts of the matter. If they would have... That would have been the plan from the beginning, there's a nice story to be told there.
Yeah.
But you didn't tell the story. You can't just... They didn't earn anything.
And
they didn't earn Palpatine coming back.
And, like, there's no reason that he has to have a body there, either.
Right.
He doesn't do anything!
It would make more sense, like, if he was, like... He was controlling everything, but he was gone.
Yeah. Or
obviously Force
or dead.
Thing. I'm sure Sith users have some kind of Force thing, which we learned with Wraiths, yeah.
If he was just a Wraith. And controlling everything still.
Right.
Because then you could divide the Skywalker saga into, like, 3 segments of the villain. Palpatine's rise, Palpatine's fall, Palpatine's legacy.
Right.
And the same thing with Anakin, too, honestly.
Yeah.
Only it's like Anakin's rise and fall in the same trilogy, and then his redemption. And then his
Luke's legacy.
Yeah, and then Luke's legacy. Which is Anakin's legacy, because it's his son.
Which is the legacy of the Jedi. Failure.
Man, Disney really took that one to heart, didn't they?
Right.
The legacy of the Jedi is failure.
Some say Ben Solo deserved better. They're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked, man.
It would have been so cool. Palpatine Wraith, he, like, influences Ben, and then you have the big final fight between Rey and Ben.
And she can still redeem him.
Yeah, like, if they find a way to get rid of Palpatine so his influence is, like, gone. And Kylo would still be acting on his own fruition, but without that voice in his head. Mm-hmm. Just commanding him.
Right. And we could still...
Or just kill him as the villain. If you want him to be dead.
Right.
Yeah, like, if Disney wants him to be dead, then just kill him as the villain.
Mm-hmm. I saw this tweet.
Because why would they cock tease us with Ben Solo if he's gonna fucking die?
It's honestly one of my favorite Ben Solo traits. They said... I forgot how to phrase it or whatever, who said it. It's not important, but... people said half of Ben Solo's personality is him falling in love with the first girl who beats him in a fight, and I just think that's hilarious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that trait, though. I think that's funny, and I love it. You know?
But apparently it's not love.
Yeah, let's jump
Segue into the next topic. Bam, bam, bam.
So you guys, we're not allowed to have sex or love in Star Wars. Actually, their kiss was platonic because I know every time I do nice things for them and they want to thank me with a kiss. Because that's what you do in real life. You help someone and they kiss you because it's not romantic. It's just platonic. It's a way to say thank you.
Now, I'm still uncertain of the source behind this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But honestly, based on what we know of Palpatine not fucking in this, we're just trying to get rid of fucking in Star Wars.
That's fair. So we're going to go off the assumption that this is actually in the book.
And if not, I don't care. Let's talk about it. It's an interesting idea.
From what I understand...
It's not actually an interesting idea. It's a stupid idea, but...
Because from what I saw a lot of people saying that it isn't. That it doesn't say that in the book.
I don't know where it came from. I saw
a lot of people saying that. Is just I'm gonna have that disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
It's potentially not in the book, and maybe it was just a clickbait article. I saw some people saying that.
Yes, that's true too.
So, full disclosure, this might not be true. And
I'll be looking up.
You know what? We'll know for sure when we read the book.
Right.
So Ty's rant could potentially be retracted if it's not actually in the book. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, you look it up right now just to see if we know for sure. Because I know I've seen a fair number of people saying that it was not...
Oh, yeah, I have an article, never mind. No, the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker novel didn't kill the Kylo and Rey romance. And this is from Forbes. Forbes is a reputable website.
From Forbes?
Right.
Yeah, I know I saw a lot of posts on Reddit of people saying that. Which I know, But
Reddit. Honestly, it's believable with how they've been doing things lately.
Yes, exactly.
That's the biggest problem.
Because also, but the biggest thing about it is how do you even... There's no way you can even go about explaining it.
You want me to read the expert from the article?
Who's it written by?
No, this is strictly from the book.
Oh, okay. Well, I just meant to give credit to the article.
Oh, this is from Forbes.
Okay.
His heart was full as Rey reached for his face, let her fingers linger against his cheek, and then, wonder of wonders, she leaned forward and kissed him. A kiss of gratitude, acknowledgement of their connection, celebration that they found each other at last. I understand that being misinterpreted that way.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of vague, honestly. The word gratitude kind of fucks it up.
The word gratitude kind of fucks it, but I think the next sentence is what...
Celebration that they found each other at last.
I think that saves it.
Yes.
That makes it sound romantic to me. Also, if you see the fucking movie, you cannot say in any way that kiss is platonic.
Right. That's the first time Ben smiled. He's happy.
Because also,
he's...
I feel like a kiss of gratitude would be on the cheek, maybe? If at all.
Or on the belly.
I guess. But I feel like a kiss on the lips is not a thank you.
No.
Unless you're in love and it's a...
Yeah, and it's a very... Yeah. You only kiss on the lips when it's not romantic. It's only you've been in a relationship a long time and you're just like, oh, thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter, it's because romance is involved.
But also, but just, the way that it happens, too, Right. It's a, passionate kiss. It's not...
Okay.
The word gratitude really fucks that up, though.
I understand why people would be upset about that.
That's where it comes from, is the word gratitude is kind of weird.
But also, JJ said he felt it as, a brother-sister thing.
Now, that's just incest, which is a Star Wars staple.
Yeah.
So, that's on brand.
Right.
Maybe that's what he meant when he said it would connect more to the prequels.
So let's think about this. Remember how after, Rey's Palpatine, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Anakin's a Force child, blah, blah, blah. Rey and Kylo are actually related because Palpatine made them both.
Theoretically.
And now Palpatine theoretically made neither of them.
Yes.
Oh my god, Dad. So, are we under the belief the dyad were they related?
I don't think so.
Well, obviously not by blood now, but maybe through the Force.
I think it's just I don't know.
Okay, here's the next paragraph. Honestly, this kind of... at the beginning of this, I already don't. I understand why people are mad. Ready?
Okay.
She did not mourn Kylo Ren. She would never mourn Kylo Ren. But she yearly would have loved the chance to get to know Ben Solo.
Well, because I'm assuming it's because she always says Kylo Ren and Ben as two different...
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be?
I'd assume so, but I understand why people would misinterpret that.
Yes, I agree again. But I feel like it is more like symbolic. It's the fact that they keep saying Kylo Ren, not Ben. If it was like she wouldn't mourn Ben, then it'd be...
Actually, maybe see, this is an interesting idea. The next part of the article goes on to say, again, this is being used to reinforce the idea that Reylo was never a thing. I mean, the word combines both the names, but to me, this just comes across as the novel continuing what the movie presented, that Kylo Ren and Ben Solo were effectively two different people. This is echoed in both Han and Ben conversations where he talks about Kylo Ren being dead and his son being alive. I don't think that means Rey wasn't sad about his death after the kiss of gratitude.
Yeah. It's following the same thing as like where Vader and Anakin are two different people.
Right? Because Reylo combines Rey and Kylo when it was really Rey and Ben. You know what I mean?
Ren.
Rey was... I don't think Rey was necessarily in love with Kylo. I think she was...
interested in Ben.
Yeah.
She had a connection with Ben, not Kylo.
Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective on it.
Then the next part of the article says, all this is weird and bad, but overall I think the canon concept of Rey and Ben / Kylo having a romantic relationship remains intact despite the odd wording. I agree with the general consensus that it seems like a waste for Han, Leia, and Luke to all dying in service of redeeming Ben only to kill him in the end, which I agree with. But that's a debate for another day, and one we will probably continue on forever knowing a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And this is an article by, I'm going to give him credit, Paul Tassi, senior contributor at Forbes. Let's talk about the ending thing there real quick. Might as well. It's just another topic. The idea of everyone dying for Ben just to kill him. Doesn't that seem a little counterintuitive?
I think it seems counterintuitive that considering that he is redeemed and then dies.
Right.
I think if it was if everyone died trying to redeem him, but he didn't get redeemed, that'd be fine.
Mm-hmm. Because it's really weird to kill all our heroes we love to redeem a guy just to kill him. But also, like...
redeem a guy that everyone already loves as soon as he becomes good again, and then kill him.
Just... I get, like, saving Rey. That's a nice sacrifice, and I appreciate that.
But also, it is also symbolic of the Skywalker lineage. I do get that, too. It's what Anakin wanted the whole time. Mm-hmm. He did finally finish what Anakin wanted to do. So I get it from a symbolic standpoint. But just from a storytelling standpoint...
Right. But also, too... Shit, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. You call the movie Rise of Skywalker. When all the Skywalkers die trying to save the last Skywalker.
Who also dies.
Yes, and now is Rey the Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker is just a bad name for the final movie of the Skywalker saga.
Right? Because I love Rey to death, but I hate Rey Skywalker.
Yeah.
I will never refer to her as Rey Skywalker.
Unless Skywalker...
Unless Skywalker becomes the name of the new Jedi Order.
Yes. That's the way that I'll accept it.
Right? Because I like that idea.
I like them calling them the Skywalkers going forward because the Jedi are flawed, and Rey will form a new order with the teachings she's gotten from the, what's the word? Demystified Luke.
Right, yeah.
And then, my idea was, since probably the first two members of the Order would be Rey and then she'd probably train Finn, two people who don't have last names, it would become like the theme of that group to just go by first name Skywalker.
Right.
You would lose your family name because
you all become Skywalker.
Yeah, you're part of this new order.
If it's like, hi, I'm Finn Skywalker now.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously Force sensitive.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But again... there's no implication of that. Instead, it just feels like she's just calling herself Skywalker just because.
Because, yeah.
Because apparently everyone asks her what her family name is.
Because let's be honest, shoot, Rey Skywalker, who likes that? Rey Nobody fans don't like it, and I'm sure the people who don't like Rey don't like it either.
No.
So who likes this?
No one. Disney.
Because the only way to make everybody happy is to make everybody mad. Disney. That's their motto in 2020, apparently.
Yeah.
But apparently Mulan's pretty good.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So weird.
I get the feeling that with how good the Kylo Ren comics are doing, they're going to revive Ben.
Honestly, I hope so.
They're going to, just because we know they go where the money is.
To be fair, they brought back Maul, they brought back Palpatine, they brought back Ahsoka. At this point, I really don't care anymore. You know what I mean?
Death doesn't matter anymore.
And when has death really truly mattered in Star Wars? When Force Ghosts are around.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Kanan's death mattered.
Yeah.
There are deaths that matter.
Spoilers.
Oh, yes. Spoilers. Oh, we're Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a long time after. If you haven't seen the end of Rebels yet, it's not our problem.
It was 2 years ago, just a few days ago.
Yeah, not our problem.
Right? We should have done... Next year we need to do like an episode on the Rebels anniversary to show our Rebels. But, yeah, it's... The one of all those, I don't consider as much of bringing back was Ahsoka, because we never knew if she was actually dead or not.
Yeah.
But, like, Palpatine, Snoke... Not Snoke. Maul.
Yeah.
Honestly...
And anyone who... Really, Ben... Or, I mean, old Ben.
Yeah, they didn't really revive him, though.
But he's more involved as a Force Ghost than he was when he was alive, really.
That's true. It's that weird thing...
He gives way more advice after his death.
Honestly, because I feel like once you brought Maul back...
You can kind of get away with...
Especially... That's why I feel like the world between worlds is a good creation. Because there's...
The only thing is that I'm just afraid about them abusing it.
Yes, but they've only done it really twice, which isn't awful.
Yes.
I don't consider the Ahsoka thing that bad.
I
honestly think that the way they did with the Ahsoka is kind of brilliant.
But I'm just worried about it starting to become...
That's why we gotta see where this Padme thing in the comic goes.
Yeah, true.
Because that's kind of worrying. Not that I hate it, but also you can't just keep bringing back everybody.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about.
Especially when you don't tie shit together.
That's the main thing that worries me. Is just, if it's like, oh, hey, we brought Ben back. Cool, we get to see more Ben. But what does that mean, like, going forward? Oh, does that just now, anytime someone dies, we just go back and revive them?
Yeah.
But also...
To be fair, we were force healing out the wazoo in this movie.
True. And also, the world between worlds is kind of limited in the sense that, like, you physically can't bring Kanan back. Mm-hmm. Because it'll kill the rest of the Phoenix Squadron. Yeah. Except for Sabine. Or no, except for Zeb.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't there. So, like, if they die in a circumstance like that, I guess, then it would be like, oh, yeah, they have to actually just stay dead. Mm-hmm. But, like, anybody else, you can just revive. Whenever you want.
What, with force healing?
With the world between worlds, if you just yank them in there.
Yeah. So I feel like you have to have a certain level of power to get in there, too.
Yes.
I feel like it's not easy to access the world between
worlds. And also, so long as it... Yes, but, as the timeline goes on, I feel like they could use it as a crutch and just make it, like...
I don't think anyone should use it in World Between Worlds except Dave Filoni, honestly.
Yes. But that's what I'm worried about, is that it would start to become a crutch.
Yeah. Here's an interesting... Okay, let's talk about Kylo's death. And why I think... I was reading a Twitter thread. I don't remember what it was, but, like... When Leia reached out to Ben, right? Mm-hmm. She didn't fully disappear until a certain point, right?
She didn't fully disappear until,
was it when Palpatine died, or was it when he
changed? It was...
After the conversation with Ben.
It was after, wasn't it after he talked... It was right before he talked to Han, wasn't it?
Maybe?
Because that was when he said she's really gone.
Yeah. Because I really want to find this.
Or did her body vanish when he vanished? I don't remember. See, I don't remember. It's been a little bit. It's been a couple months.
Right. The DVD comes out soon, actually.
I don't remember the order of events super well. With stuff like that. I know her body disappeared at, like, a weird, like, later time. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how it went. Because Rey stabbed Kylo.
Because remember when Leia dies, finally disappears, it's not right away?
Yeah.
And for some reason, like, Maz Kanata's smiling about it.
Yeah.
So, I need to find this person's thing.
This tweet you found?
There was this interesting thread of explaining why Kylo...
That Kylo might have survived?
Yeah. Or why there's a chance for him to return.
Huh. I always find that interesting. But, fill in the dead air.
Right.
It's just so fucked. We're definitely going to read that book, though. We're going to make a video, or probably a podcast episode where we just review it at some point.
Right.
Once we have actually both read it. And it'll be fresh enough. I'll have to, take notes while I'm reading it.
Right, I was always thinking about just annotating my books.
Just so we can look back on important things. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll probably just, write down page numbers, of important things that happened, and, this happened at this page, this happened at this page.
Right, yeah.
So that I could just have it and flip through it when we're recording. Because we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm able to find this. I'll look up an article, though.
Look up, Ben Solo Still Alive or something like that. I'm sure someone's written an article on it. If it's widespread enough.
Right. But there's an interesting
theory that might be plausible?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with those things is always they go where the money is. So the fact that it's plausible and that they know how well received Ben is, it'll probably happen.
I'm just going to actually look at one of these articles.
Then again, knowing Disney, they'll not do that and do it in a dumber way.
Right.
You never know for sure.
But yeah, so Kylo Ren died, right?
Yes.
No.
Kylo Ren died and then Ben Solo died. At least, as much as we're ripping into Rise, one of my favorite scenes, maybe in all of Star Wars, is this conversation with Han in Rise.
Like I said, there's so many good moments.
I fucking love that scene so much.
My favorite's probably when she passes the saber.
Yeah.
Because that moment's just... That whole scene that plays out after that. Okay. Exegol is one of the worlds in World Between Worlds. Ben Solo died in the World Between Worlds and became one with the Force. It's canon Ezra managed to save Ahsoka from dying in the World Between Worlds portals. That's just one tweet.
Exegol is one of the worlds in the World Between Worlds?
Yeah.
How do people know that?
The
book?
The book. The Jedi texts.
Oh. That's weird.
Yeah, but...
So what, you can only be revived if you're on a certain planet?
But also the fact that we didn't see his Force ghost is interesting.
Yeah.
There was a lot of interesting little...
Yeah, considering that they threw the rules of Force ghosting right out the window.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, they did that with Vader. Or Anakin, I mean. Mm-hmm. He kind of fucks with that rule anyway. Because I remember it was always you need training, and then they have that Yoda arc in Clone Wars where he learns how to become a Force ghost, but I guess you just don't need that anymore.
But don't you think after everything that happened, if Kylo was actually gone, he would have been there at the end with Rey, with his mom and Luke?
The only thing I would think of is maybe they were too afraid of it just being too similar to Return of the Jedi, where it's I was the villain and now I'm the good guy and I pop up as a Force ghost at the end.
But you literally did the exact same thing anyway, so who gives a fuck at that point?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know, man. I wish I would have saved that interesting little thread. There was something about Maz Kanata and how Leia doesn't disappear until a certain point, and then Ben just disappears. I don't remember how at all.
It is weird in general that Ben disappeared at all.
Yeah.
Because usually that is symbolic of you being a Force ghost.
Yeah, because that's what happened to Luke.
It's what happened to Luke, it's what happened to Obi-Wan, it's what happened to Yoda. So that's symbolic of becoming a Force ghost, and we didn't see him.
Yeah.
Because normally, Qui-Gon, he just gets stabbed, and then they cremate him. Mm-hmm. Because he wasn't fully able to become a Force ghost. He's only halfway through his training or whatever. So it is interesting, that Ben would vanish. And to the same extent, that would also be interesting why Leia would vanish, too.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very... I don't know, man. Obviously, the most interesting thing is the world between worlds. Oh, that's the way to save him, though, if you do.
Knowing Disney, they'll find something dumber.
Okay.
Oh, Ben Solo was a clone all along. You're reading either some bullshit or something that's interesting.
It says Ben Solo could return thanks to Exegol in Star Wars 10, which I assume is the comic reboot they're doing right now.
Or unless they mean Episode 10.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I'm dumb. Okay, I don't care.
Well, you know what I feel like the biggest deciding factor would be? If they could actually get Adam Driver to do it.
Yeah.
That'd be what it comes down to.
And honestly, don't have to worry about it for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't think you bring him back
so soon.
Unless you can guarantee Adam Driver's going to come back and play him.
Yes.
At some point in the future.
Yes.
Otherwise, just don't.
Yeah, otherwise just leave him fucking dead.
Yeah. You already fucked it anyway, so just you fucking did.
And to be fair, I feel like he wouldn't really want to come back. Considering that it seems like none of them want to come back anyway.
Because they're all... Honestly, a lot of them are pissed, and I honestly don't blame them at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I understand now a lot more why John Boyega was so mad. Like, his character literally had no growth in three movies.
His character got extremely stunted after Force Awakens.
He did grow because he was saying Rey louder and louder each time, so obviously his voice got stronger as he becoming a real boy. But,
It sucks, because I really like Finn in Force Awakens. That's the only movie where he actually gets to do something.
The only part I don't like about him in The Force Awakens is when he holds Rey's hand.
I like it, though, because he's awkward.
Yeah.
The only woman he's ever interacted with probably is Phasma.
Right.
And you know he wasn't able to hold her hand. And then they just gave him nothing to do. Poe was the opposite. He didn't really get to do anything in Force Awakens for the most part. Mm-hmm. And then he got to do more stuff in Last Jedi, where Finn didn't get to do anything. And then just neither of them really did anything in Rise. At least Poe did have more to do in Rise than Finn.
Yeah.
Finn really got fucked in Rise.
He really did.
Which sucks, because he already had the worst part in Last Jedi.
You excited to watch Rise of Skywalker again?
I mean, yeah, because there are still parts of it that I really like.
Right. Okay.
One thing that always will still, that I think will make me bitter till the end of time, is just how quickly the Final Order fleet just falls.
Yeah.
Like, what, you hype up this enormous fleet with all of the advertising and all of the posters, and it just goes down like a little bitch off screen?
I don't get why I still can't fathom why this movie wasn't longer.
I still can't fathom why this wasn't 2 movies.
Because we know the writers, we'd love to do a second movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is not...
Have Exegol be its entire own movie.
Right?
The entire final act be its own movie.
Honestly, you know what they should have done?
End the first part on Endor.
They should have delayed this movie.
Yes.
Another year.
Yes.
We should be right now talking about how
hyped
we are for Rise of Skywalker, because we're getting another trailer soon. You know what I mean? Like, this movie shouldn't have came out when it did. Because obviously it wasn't...
Well, clearly I feel like they were going to fuck it up no matter what, so might as well rip that Band-Aid off.
Right. This has been a good therapy session.
The worst thing is just that they listen to the internet.
You don't listen to the neckbeards.
You don't listen to the internet.
The scum of the earth.
Because guess what? You know what else the internet hated? Everything but episodes 4 and 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
This I don't get why they got, why the internet reaction to Last Jedi just fucking castrated them. It just makes them look like pussies. What? Am I not wrong?
No, you're exactly right.
They just look like fucking bitches now. Like what? Sure, I don't have a problem if people don't like Last Jedi. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to like it.
But Dan, it ruined my childhood.
I don't give a shit. You can say you don't care about Star Wars forever.
But Disney can't ruin childhoods. They're a family company. They build childhoods. It's not on brand.
I'm just saying that if Last Jedi ruined your childhood and you never want to see anything Star Wars related ever again,
I don't understand, but you.
I don't understand it, but sure, stick to your guns.
I'm not on the idea that one thing ruins the franchise.
But, if it does for you, I don't give a shit. That's fine.
Right?
But Disney shouldn't have to fucking listen to you then if you're not going to watch it anyway.
And Star Wars isn't going to be around anyway if you don't get new Star Wars fans in. And you need to make kids fans.
Yeah. Not
worry about keeping fans that are fucking 40 years old that live in their mom's basement with a beard longer than fucking Santa,
It just seems so weird to, try and placate everyone.
All this news this week, man, it just makes me sad. Which makes me want to cry, fucking... I know I've been saying this a lot to you off air, we might not ever see Rey again. And that makes me deeply sad.
I feel like give it 15 years when this is all blown over.
Or an animated series would be cool.
Just, give it some time. The wounds will heal, people will stop giving a shit.
Right.
The people who are super pissed won't pay attention anymore.
That's one of the one of the things that I've been seeing a lot too with all these articles coming out. Who cares anymore?
Yeah.
We probably should just stop talking about Rise of Skywalker because who cares anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also it's fun to talk about.
But we still care.
Yeah.
To an extent, because we're Star Wars fans.
I'm kind of over Rise of Skywalker though, as a whole. I'm just kind of over it. I'm gonna watch it when it comes out on DVD. We're gonna continue our road to Skywalker with it. That's gonna be a fun episode.
Oh man, that'll be a fucking 4-hour episode,
along with The Last Jedi.
Yeah, but two completely different ends of the spectrum for you, for sure.
The Last Jedi, man, it's a masterpiece. My favorite thing is scrolling through Twitter and people be like, "What?" And it's just shots from the Last Jedi. I'm like, "This is such a beautiful movie." From crate to fucking the throne room to fucking everything.
What's next on the docket? Do we have any other articles?
We have
in our therapy session.
These.
Then we should try and go a couple episodes without talking about Rise of Skywalker.
Impossible.
I just mean that we've literally...
I'm not saying we shouldn't try, but I'm saying it's impossible.
But I'm just saying that should be our goal. This is our therapy session to get all of the grievances out right now.
I've needed this, Dan. This has been a rough week with all this news. This week, Dan, has truly
been
fucking sucked. From last Monday and Tuesday, as we're recording this on Tuesday, this should be uploaded later today, just for timer heads. Last Monday and Tuesday were great fucking days. Every day since then has fucking sucked. All this bullshit from Star Wars. My job was chaos this week. I got mandatory overtime. It was... I made a mistake I did this week. I used the words... I said I was happy to somebody this week. When in truth, I wasn't actually happy. I just wasn't depressed for 2 months. And now it's back. And it fucking sucks. And Star Wars is a part of it. It's fucking... Ah! I'm screaming loud because I need to let things out. See, we're gonna cover 2 more points here, little snippets from the book. These don't make me mad. One's a little confusing, but the problem is with these ones is people are getting mad about it just because at this point, why are you even getting mad about this? Why is this even an article headline? You know what I mean?
You're right.
The first one is something to do with Leia. After quitting her Jedi training, hearing Yoda and still hearing from old Ben and Yoda.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, but it's fine. But why are people so mad about it?
I don't get it.
I understand. The only thing I understand is Leia didn't know Yoda.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I understand.
But also
Rey didn't know all the Jedi she was reaching out to in the Force either.
Yeah, and also Yoda has a habit of talking to people.
Yeah,
he talked to Ezra while he was still alive.
Yeah.
Well, Yoda was still alive, is what I mean.
Yoda, probably can reach almost anyone through the Force.
Yeah, especially because he's on Dagobah, which is a big Force planet.
We all know canonically Leia's more Force sensitive or stronger than Luke, right?
Yes. That's the implication, at least.
Right?
I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but that's the implication, is that Leia is the stronger of the two.
Yeah, because Yoda wanted to train her.
Yes.
And then the other one...
And Obi-Wan just was like, no, I watched over this kid for fucking 20 years, you're training this one.
The other one is, obviously, when Rey... There's Luke and Rey on Ahch-To, and Luke raises the... X-Wing.
Red 5.
Yeah, apparently Rey had to fix it a little, because it's been underwater for,
a couple years.
A couple decades,
No, it probably was underwater a couple decades.
Oh yeah, like a decade probably.
Yeah, whenever Ben turned into Kylo.
And people are like, "Oh God, blah, blah, like why are you out?" I'm like,
who cares?
who can't? Like, to me that makes sense.
She's a mechanic, basically.
Yeah, she's good at that. She fixed the Falcon right away. She's fixing shit. Like, of course, Luke's X-wing wasn't in flying condition right away. She had to repair it a little.
Yeah,
and that's not something I want to see in the movie.
Yeah,
so
especially in this movie,
this is just adding context that is interesting and not like people are mad about it. Of course,
it's just taking from her childhood on Jakku.
Yeah, and also like, duh.
Plus, I'm sure there are fucking crashed X-wings on Jakku.
Yeah, people are like, why didn't we see it in the movie? I'm like,
yeah.
Do you really want to see this?
Out of all the things missing from the movie, this is what really pisses me off.
The only thing, like the only part about this being the movie would have been a cool conversation between Luke and Rey while she was doing it.
Yeah,
that's all. But no, who cares?
We don't have time.
Yeah, barely had time to tell the story they were telling.
We didn't have time to tell the story they were telling.
Well, like people are mad about that, and I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get either of those two being.
It's also part of the thing where like now it's there's a new article pretty much every day this week about this book, and everyone's like. At a certain point, we got to the weird stuff, like these bottom ones. I'm like, why are we writing articles about these? Who cares? Why are you just trying to click for headlines and make it
because the first couple got a lot of clicks.
And also, like, why are you still mad? So, like, why are you so hung up on, like...
that she had to fix an X-Wing.
Right.
Or that Leia talked to Yoda.
And also, like, who cares anymore, right? We were kind of saying earlier, like...
Well, you were saying earlier.
Yeah. Like, move on from this. Like, it happened. We need to... It's like...
You're still holding on! You need to let go!
Yeah, kill you. Yeah, those were two interesting... And then I had the... And then there was the interesting things about, like, Rey's lightsaber and stuff, but nothing too...
But those were actually... The, like, Rey's lightsaber one is actually an interesting thing that I think is actually kind of cool.
Honestly, right now, Dan...
Yes.
Do you know what I did yesterday? That I pre-ordered 2 of the High Republic books.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty cheap on Amazon. I need to buy this.
I'll start getting worried about Star Wars if those come out and those suck.
Okay, I'm doing it.
What do you do? Oh, you're buying the book
right now. It's cheaper than it was last time I looked too, so I'm gonna buy it.
But you know what I mean?
Plus, I have my discount for working at Amazon, so. This should be...
Do you know what I mean, though, Ty?
Yeah.
Like, if the High Republic books come out and they suck, then I'm starting to get worried about Star Wars.
I don't think they're going to suck, though. There's also, like, do you know what's bullshit, too? Like, people are getting mad and, like, being mean to the author about it. You think these were her ideas?
These were all Disney ideas, baby.
She's literally adapting a movie, but putting more context in it. I don't think it was her idea that Palpatine's a clone.
I'm sure
that's the story group, and probably JJ, and probably
I'm sure it's
probably Bob Iger, Uncle Bob up there. Like,
I'm sure fucking LucasArts was breathing down her neck with this one.
Yeah, her job was to write a book about the movie.
Yeah,
I'm sure
to explain.
I'm sure she had some of her own ideas in there that she talked to the story group about that they liked and they went with.
Yeah,
but also I don't think most of the ideas. I think maybe like. 0.5% of the ideas are hers.
I don't think the ones that actually annoy people, like the big ones, like Palpatine being a clone, Palpatine's son being a failed clone, that's not from her.
That's honestly probably JJ and the writer of the movie.
Yeah. It's from the writers. And Disney.
So, please be nice to Ray Carson.
Also,
she didn't do anything. She's just writing a book.
Also, in general, don't harass anyone.
Yeah.
That's a good message to get out there.
Right?
Don't harass anyone.
I had someone randomly harass me on Instagram. Like, what?
Yeah, don't harass people over fiction.
Right?
Even if you absolutely hate their work.
That's the weird thing, too.
Like, you wouldn't go and harass, like, Kathleen Kennedy or JJ. You wouldn't go to them on Twitter and be like, oh, you fucking suck, die!
No, I'd be like, hey, JJ, Kathleen, like, let's have a sit-down. Let's talk about Star Wars. How we can do this better.
Yeah.
Let's have a meeting.
There's no need to fucking harass people.
Like, there's this thing where...
Star Wars fans really need to learn that. There's no need to harass people.
One of the podcasts I listened to was talking about this, or one of the shows I watch on YouTube. They're like, isn't it funny that we live in a world now where people want you to die if you don't have the same opinion of movies as they do?
Right.
Like, what happened?
We have nothing left to be worried about, like, that matters.
No, that's the problem, is that we do.
And people escape from that by watching movies, but then they end up taking that too seriously.
Only if people, like, took that, all that energy they have, like, of them into, like, politics and shit that actually matters, like stopping the coronavirus, curing cancer. Like, put your energy into something that matters and be mad about something that matters, not a movie, a work of fiction made to bring joy to the world.
Right. If you hate it truly that much, just move on.
The only thing that I understand if you talk shit about all the time because it deserves to be talked about is, like, Denny's restaurant. Like, you know, like, fuck Denny's. That's the only thing you can be mad about. Like,
man, I will never be sponsored by Denny's. What the fuck?
Oh, shit.
Unless they sponsor us, then we retract that statement.
Though, a Star Wars podcast I used to listen to, because I don't listen to them anymore because we do one.
Yes. We don't want to steal their ideas.
They got sponsored to do, like, because remember how they did the solo Denny's thing?
Oh.
They literally did a show live in a Denny's.
That's actually dope.
That is dope.
That was the weirdest. Like,
it almost made me go to Denny's for the first time ever. It was like, I want the solo trading cards.
But that's like such a weird marketing. Like, why Denny's?
That's why you know Solo failed, because Denny's.
Man, and Solo wasn't even bad.
Right, it really wasn't.
I still always feel a little bitter about Solo.
The thing I don't like about Solo is we talked about this.
Yeah, we have a whole episode where we talk about.
So
Solo.
you actually go check that out.
Yeah, go watch that, please.
But, like, the only problem about Solo was it was about Solo.
Well, no, the biggest problem with the reason why it failed is just because all the fucking problems they had, changing everything and not advertising it,
and how he got his last name.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about, like, things that made it financially a failure.
Oh yeah, it came out 3 weeks after Infinity War,
which is already
1 week after Deadpool 2. They couldn't market it and, like, put toys up in shelves because they had to have the Marvel toys out.
Yeah.
And, like, we didn't get the first trailer to the Super Bowl, which was 3 months before the movie came out. Honestly, it shouldn't release in May.
It should release in December.
And, of course, they fired the directors halfway through the fucking filming of the movie.
Yep.
You know what's bad? Like, at least, like, Colin Trevorrow was hired before they even started fucking filming. But, like, to fire directors halfway through filming... I honestly want to see their version of Solo. I think it'd be interesting.
I think it'd be interesting, but I don't know if it would be better.
No. It could be.
I mean, there's always a chance.
Solo could be better.
No, yeah, I know that.
Solo's not like a great movie. It's a fun movie.
But I'm not... but I'm just saying, we have no idea if their version would be better.
The problem is with... Yeah, I think it could... Yeah, we don't know, though, but it definitely wouldn't have been safe. As in, like, they would have took more risks and stuff.
But, following right after Last Jedi...
They were afraid to. Honestly, that's probably part of the reason. And also, there was the thing with, like...
Well, that's the whole reason behind Rise.
Like, apparently the writers of the movie and, like, the directors were giving Alden Ehrenreich a bunch of weird, like, different directions, and he was, like, kind of didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because you have, like, someone who wrote the original Star Wars telling you one thing, and the director's telling you another thing, and, like...
Yeah, I remember
hearing bring an acting coach to make sure, like, he's, like...
He was having issues.
Yeah, it wasn't even, like, issues, it's just, like... He wasn't...
He's getting conflicting.
He didn't know what to do.
Yeah. To be fair, what the fuck do you do in that case? Yeah, that just always makes me a little bitter, because that, like, ruined any other movie spin-offs. But, maybe now they'll all be Disney Plus series, so... Series.
Crimson Dawn, baby, give it to me.
Yeah, Star Wars...
I want Kira.
Star Wars Crimson Dawn, bam. Like, season or 2 or 3 or whatever, how long you need to tell the story.
Yeah.
Mando style, where it's, like, 45-minute episodes.
Okay, I have one more topic before we talk about Clone Wars.
Okay. I forgot we were talking about that this week.
Well, yeah, right? So, do you think Star Wars Celebration is going to be canceled?
Because of Corona?
Due to the coronavirus.
I saw a thread on the Star Wars Celebration subreddit actually talking about this. I've seen a lot of people say probably not.
I feel like it's far enough out that
because
I feel like it'll be in control by then.
A lot of things that are being canceled are being pushed back to around that time.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. Mm-hmm. And it just depends on how it goes. It depends on how Corona goes.
Because also, like, apparently, like, it's spreading less now right now, especially overseas.
Yeah,
it's starting to slow down a little.
Now I can put coronavirus in the tags.
Right. Because, honestly, I was thinking about it. I'm like, probably like because we were talking about buying plane tickets last week for it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, honestly, probably should wait a little longer. But also, even if we buy plane tickets and it gets canceled, we just go to Disney World.
Yeah. we just go to
Disney World.
We just go to Galaxy's Edge.
Right. But I was thinking about that. I'm like,
yeah,
it could be. I feel like it's far enough out though. I think things will be fine.
I think it's far enough away that we don't have to worry about it right now.
Yeah, we're still 6 months out.
If it was still in April, it would be canceled. Like how last year was in April.
It all depends, honestly, if the Olympics get canceled or not.
True.
I feel like if the Olympics get canceled,
everything will get canceled.
Because I know there's thoughts with them, like, they're like, a lot of this is kind of business stuff, not like they're worried about the virus spreading. It's like people might not show up because of the virus.
Because they're scared.
I feel like the Olympics is more like they're worried about the virus spreading.
Yeah, because, it's a lot of fucking countries gathering together.
In another country. But, like, Coachella's getting canceled.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about canceling WrestleMania.
Stuff's been getting canceled every day.
GDC got canceled. South by Southwest is getting canceled.
Yeah.
E3 might get canceled. But honestly, E3's kind of fucked anyway.
Why?
Well, Sony left last year. Sony's not returning this year. They had a big problem where
why Sony leave?
Because they don't need E3.
Oh.
They weren't at E3 last year. They're not coming this year. They're doing their own event when they announced the PS5.
Oh.
They really don't got much to show. Well, they do, but they're waiting to a big PS5 reveal. You just do it all there. You don't need to be at E3 for that. And also, E3, famously, a few months ago, had, like, an information leak where they got, a bunch of people's personal information of the attendees. And, like, E3 honestly might be dead. And the coronavirus might be the final thing that killed it. Which is interesting. But yeah, everything's getting canceled. I'm like, I was starting to worry about Celebration. I'm like,
yeah, I think it's far enough away that at least we don't have to worry about it yet.
Yeah.
It's still, pretty far down the line.
Yeah. And either way, they'll just push it back.
Yeah.
And we'll sell our tickets. Hopefully they'll still give us our hotel room with corresponding dates and then.
Well, that'll be just something we have to play by ear when it happens.
I always thought that was an interesting idea that it might be canceled.
You're just like,
maybe we just don't, maybe we're in no rush to buy plane tickets. But also, who the fuck wants to go to an airport right now anyway?
Yeah. That's fair. But anyway.
So, final topic, Dan. On this therapy session of an episode.
We were screaming and ranting about Rise of Skywalker novelization. So now let's talk, about something that actually makes us happy.
Nothing makes me happy this week, Dan.
Shh. Come on, Clone Wars
was good. What was the episode called?
The Wings of
Rebellion?
No, it's like Wings of, and then like whatever the species of that bat thing is.
Oh,
I think it's like React or something.
Not Wings of the Dove.
No, I don't think it's Wings of the
Eagles
Dove.
of Fire.
Look up Star Wars, Clone Wars.
I just searched the Wings of.
What?
Yeah, we had bad prep. Yeah, we were not ready to. Last week I did a fuck ton of prep for the Clone Wars episode. And then this week I'm just like,
Well, this week we're also in a little, not necessarily a time crunch, but
kind of a time crunch. My work schedule, like I said, I got overtime kind of fucked.
Yeah, it kind of fucked our recording. That's why this is being uploaded on a Tuesday and not a Monday.
Or a Friday.
After
Clone Wars, like we'd like it to be.
Like we wish it would be.
Right. But
sometimes it'd be like that, though.
Sometimes it'd be
We're not big time enough yet to be like, hey, yo, Disney, push it back.
On the Wings of Creodox. Or something.
Yeah, because it's the name of the species, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. Less, like, plot stuff happened this episode.
Yeah, not a lot of real character moments. It was just more about...
A lot of good action, though.
Yeah, a lot of cool action. Like, that shot of them on the bridge is fucking gorgeous.
On
the distant shot of them, like, just the 5 things, and... Yeah.
They're just stuck in the middle of all these cool-looking B-1s.
Right. The one thing
that can fly.
Right. I like their wings.
Yeah.
One thing... Yeah, guys, we still like Star Wars.
Mando and Clone Wars.
Woohoo! Fallen Order, baby.
Fallen Order, yay! We'll do a review for Fallen Order one day, I promise.
Rey and everything except Rise of Skywalker. Woohoo!
Ben.
Oh, I fucking love Ben.
But yeah, what were you gonna say?
I don't buy them all landing on this bird's first time. One of them should have, miss.
Yeah?
Or, Wrecker jumps on one, his neck breaks, and he dies. Oh,
I thought the one Wrecker jumped on was going to die.
Was he such a tank?
Because he's such a beefy boy.
Such a beefy boy.
He's extra thick with 3 C's. Yeah, I like the action. Echo's design is kind of scary a little bit. I feel like for children, Echo, looks horrifying.
Clone Wars isn't as child-friendly as people would like to believe.
Oh, it's definitely not, but that's what makes me love it so much.
Right?
But, if I saw Echo's design when I was, a kid, I would have been scared shitless. But then again...
Star Wars anymore.
Then again...
You would have thought it was a horror movie.
Then again, I'm scared of everything, so...
Yeah.
I like that Echo has the little, he has, choppers looking, astromech thing.
Yeah.
It looks like the same design as Chopper's, where it just looks like a weird claw.
Little do you know he is Chopper.
Whoa.
What if he is Chopper, though?
I think Chopper's already around.
What? Prove it. Where did Chopper come from?
He was in Hera's dad's Y-Wing.
In Clone Wars?
During the Clone Wars. We didn't see him in the show, but we know that he was in a Y-Wing during the Clone Wars.
So he was Jam's droid.
He was during... I think...
He's a single family droid?
I think it was her dad's droid. I don't know for sure, but I think it was, because why else would she have him then?
Yeah.
Unless it was she found him in the crash, but I know for sure he was in a Y-Wing and the Y-Wing crashed during the Clone Wars.
Okay.
We see that in the episode of Rebels where Thrawn takes the Calicori.
Yeah.
But that'd be funny if it was just oh no, Echoes on Chopper.
I like that idea. That's my new theory.
That'd be funny.
That's almost better than Thrawn and Yaddle.
Oh no, nothing's better than Thrawn and Yaddle making Baby Yoda.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like the big spider droids showing up.
Was that this episode?
Yeah, because they attack the village.
Oh yeah.
And I like seeing Anakin just take it by himself.
Oh yeah, they jumped up and cut the things off and stuff, right?
Yeah, and he force pushed it into the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And Wrecker just kept yeeting people. He yeeted Rex and Hunter up onto the spider droid.
A lot of plot really happened in this episode, didn't it?
It was mostly action.
They were taking over. They were protecting the...
Because they flew back to the village.
And they brought the battle to
And they accidentally led the droids there.
Yeah, okay.
And then they had to convince the villagers to help them, otherwise they'd die. Because there was an absolute fuckload of battle droids.
Yeah.
That could fly.
Yeah.
I love that those things can fly. It's cool. Also, Wat Tambor had that little spark droid thing that would just vaporize the whole room.
Right.
Man, that's an OP piece of equipment. Why doesn't that show up in anything else?
Exactly why you just said it's OP.
Because it's OP as fuck.
Right.
It would just erase you.
I saw an interesting... This has nothing to do with Clone Wars, but I saw an interesting tweet. It was just about droids in general. They're like Star Wars made droids so sentient that it just feels like everybody in Star Wars has a slave.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's funny.
I don't know if the droids are truly realized AI though.
Yeah.
I don't think they're fully...
But they're sentient enough where I understand if someone was thinking.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think they're 100% sentient yet.
Yeah.
I think they're right below where true AI.
What's a droid that doesn't have an owner?
Fuck.
Is there one?
I'm sure there is.
I feel like K2SO was pretty on his own and just chose to be with Cassian.
Yeah, but also I feel like he did... No, but also remember Cassian did give him a lot of orders.
Yeah.
I'll be with you, Jin. Cassian said I had to. God, I love Rogue One.
Right. I love Felipe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any droids
that's Felipe. I
don't know. I'm trying to think of any droids that were their own person. Oh, IG-88. Bounty Hunter droid.
There you go. IG-11.
He seemed like he was programmed to specifically work for their...
Yeah.
IG-88, acted, on his own.
Oh, and plus he had to protect Baby Yoda.
Yeah, IG-13, or... Was it 13?
11.
IG-11. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what you said. It was 3 seconds ago.
45.
Yeah.
Seconds ago.
IG-11, because remember, he was like a guild droid specifically, so...
Yeah.
And then he got reprogrammed. But I think IG-88 might be the only one.
That sounds about right.
General Kalani in Rebels, maybe.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, in the episode of Rebels where it's the last Clone War battle.
Oh yeah.
Because all the Separatist droids shut down, but he thought it was a ploy from the Republic, so he stayed active. So he was the last Separatist. Yeah. So he was kind of working on his own.
That's fair.
He showed up in Clone Wars a lot, actually. That specific droid. I don't know about a lot, but I know he showed up. He was in the arc with Saw Gerrera, actually.
You like how my Star Wars calendar is
still on Rey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just honestly don't care to change it either.
But yeah,
Clone Wars was a good episode. Now, honestly, I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah, we finish this arc next episode.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get to Ahsoka and Mandalore.
Then we get to Ahsoka and Mandalore for the rest of it.
But yeah, I think that's it for this week, Dan.
Yeah, I think so.
I ain't got much left to say. I'm exhausted.
A little out of steam.
And I kind of just want to lay down and sob a little, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
Try to find reasons to, you know...
I gotta get this episode rendering.
Right. So... That was the Holocron-Cast. I hope you enjoyed our rant/therapy session trying to understand Star Wars.
We're going to try our best to not talk as much about Rise of Skywalker for a couple weeks. Probably not going to happen, though. But for at least a couple weeks.
Nah, we're talking about it.
Just... You said yourself, who cares?
Exactly.
So just, you know...
Well, we're talking about
I like to
the symbolic relationship of how we feel R2-D2 represents all of us in the Star Wars saga.
I like to pride our podcast.
We need to do some bigger, general topics. You know what I mean?
I like to pride myself on our podcast generally being very positive.
Yes, I thought we were going to be too, then Rise of Skywalker happened, Dan.
That's what I mean. I'm hoping we can start to steer back to that.
I feel like the last 2 weeks have been good.
Not this one.
Well, no shit, not this one.
Yeah, the last two... Yeah, I want to get into, how the last 2 weeks when... I just had a stroke trying to say that. I want to have episodes like the last two for the foreseeable future.
Right.
Where we're generally positive. Because Star Wars is full of a lot of negative people.
Yes, and we're going to be them.
No.
Sometimes. No. But yes. Thank you all for watching.
If you actually watched our entire rant, thank you.
I love you. Thank you. And until next time. Rey Skywalker, nobody Palpatine? Question mark?